Close your eyes, close your ears, and relax, think of nothing to know.
History is resurrecting itself at North Shore Music Theater
Close your eyes, close your eyes, and relax, think of
as Voices of Hope prepares for the second coming of Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's actually really exciting to be doing Jesus Christ Superstar again.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
It's been more than a decade since Voices of Hope performed the concept album turned Broadway staple as its first book musical.
It allows us an opportunity to reflect on our longevity and the memories that we made then and since.
Memories and life-saving monies. Now in its 16th year, Voices of Hope has raised more than $1 million in donations for cancer research. And that is nothing to sneeze at.
It's the same show, but it's a totally different vibe.
Fools, you have no perception. The stakes we are gambling are frighteningly high.
I'm playing Caiaphas, and it's the first time I've ever played a bad guy.
So like John before him, this Jesus must die.
This is really a culmination of over 16 years of working together. It brings me back to other people who started with us and are still with us, and some who have moved on, but they're still with us in their spirit in the show. And it's just a wonderful thing to come back around full circle.
A couple of the performers are the same performers in the same roles. It's a really interesting dynamic because it's Jesus and Pilate.
Since you come from Galilee, then you need not come to me. Your Herod's race, your Herod's case.
The first time we did it, it was my first production with Voices of Hope. So I was the newcomer.
You have nothing in your hands. Any power you have.
It was a very different vibe now, whereas I've had the privilege of meeting people here and knowing them, and they've become my family for 13 years.
Having worked together for so many years and building a relationship, so there's a huge respect for me, for Adam, and for what he brings to the role, and I know how committed he is to being pure and honest with the role, and just having a friendship that we've built over the years.
So I'm playing Judas, which is sort of traditionally known as the sort of villain of this thing.
You have set them all on fire. It will be found the new Messiah.
Though I don't necessarily see it that way, I think it's a very conflicting character because he does sort of start out very much, on the same team as Jesus.
Another really interesting and exciting change for us is that we have two women that I am really loving. One of them is Diane Early, who has been with us for quite a while. She's one of our breast cancer survivors, and she's playing Peter. And the other role that is being played by a female is Annas, which is Caiaphas's right-hand leader. And Jamie Cook is playing that role.
And priests are here for you.
For me, it's really exciting because this role is typically played by a man and usually played by someone a little bit not older, but usually they are a group together, all those priests. So to not only be the only female in the priest group in this production, but also to be a little bit younger, it is interesting to watch, and it's inevitable to feel those comparisons to, modern day of a different generation and a different type of person in power is really interesting and fun.
One of the newest additions to the Voices of Hope family is Broadway actress Allison Case, playing the part of Mary Magdalene.
Last fall, with their gala, my friend Amanda Morgan, who is one of the musical directors here, she introduced me to Voices of Hope. They were doing a little tribute to Gavin Creel, who's a friend of mine. We did hair together in New York. He passed last year from cancer, and so we did a hair medley.
And I'm just so touched by the fact that she loved the mission of the organization, she loved the work we did, and beyond just being a guest artist, she just asked, how do I become a member?
It's like such an amazing group of people. Like, these humans are so just lovely and inspiring and open and welcoming, and I'm very grateful to kind of have this new family here.
It is a huge sound, lots of vocally really impressive moments, and for the orchestra that we're going to have, we have 17 people playing with us, so all professional musicians volunteering their time for the cause, which is awesome.
The first time we did Jesus Christ Superstar, we had a couple little kids in the show, and one of them was Anna Consoli. She is the daughter of Mike and Beth Consoli, who are founding members of VOH. At that time, we all declare what we sing for or who we sing for. And Beth and Mike both shared in their video at that time that they sang so their children could grow up in a cancer-free world. It is ironic that a couple months ago, Anna Consoli was diagnosed with lymphoma.
And her father was in our show. He was one of the apostles. And her mother, Beth, is on our board. And so they've been with us since day one. And we were hoping that Mike could reprise his role in this. And unfortunately, Anna came up sick. And so we're all putting them ahead of us in this endeavor. And they're on our minds at all times. So, yeah, it's why we do this.
And one of the things I like to remind people, and something I do every time we get to North Shore Music Theater, is before the first show, we usually have an hour or so of downtime. And I will tell everybody, go find a quiet corner and really remember why you're here, right? Because we're in the excitement of the show, and sometimes that day, sometimes it can get lost, but it's important to not let that get lost in the day.
Jesus Christ, superstar, for you are made, say you are. Come see Jesus Christ Superstar.
For AndoverTV, I'm Sean Murphy.